WrestleMania 40 is just a few days away, and I've already spotted a few problems going into the show. So I've taken a few of the main titles, and this is how I would book WrestleMania. But if I booked the entire show, this video would probably be about 8 hours long. So anyway, let's see how I would book WrestleMania XL. It's 3 weeks before WrestleMania and Bayley's in the ring cutting a passionate promo about damage control. She explains that damage control was her everything and Dakota and Io were her ride or dies. So this cut is worse than any a certain boss has ever caused. Damage control comes to the ring and Dakota says that they needed to move on from Bayley. In a way, she was the one holding them back. Before she can explain their actions any further, Io stops her and says now is not the time. Instead, they need to tell Bayley about the deal they made with Nick Aldis. Bayley will fight a member of Damage Control every week until WrestleMania. If Bayley wins all 3 matches, she chooses the stipulation for her match with Io Sky. But if she loses any of the matches, Io gets to choose the stipulation. Kairi Sane slides into the ring and she is the first member of Damage Control Bayley needs to face. Bayley is being beaten down by Kairi, Damage Control have been interfering in the match wherever they can, Kairi has Bayley in position for the insane elbow, but suddenly, Asuka's taken out, and it's an attack by Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Kairi is distracted, Bayley knocks her off the ropes, and she manages to hit the rose plants for the 3 counts. The next week, Bayley looks for Alba and Isla backstage to thank them for having her back. She finds them in a dark room lit by a single candle, and before she can say a word, Alba and Isla explain that they don't have her back. Her win was just a coincidence. They want the tag team championships, and that just happens to tie into her story. Before she leaves, they tell her one more thing. Your allies can be found where you least expect them. In this episode, Bayley takes on Dakota Kai, and this time it's only Io that stays at ringside. Kairi and Asuka are in the back looking for Alba and Isla. Io is trying to help Dakota and even slides a chair into the ring to make sure Dakota Kai wins. But Bayley manages to dive to the outside and takes out Io. She defeats Dakota Kai, but Asuka and Kairi run to the ring and immediately start hitting Bayley. Damage Control stand over a fallen Bayley. Backstage, Bianca Belair is getting ready for her match when Naomi asks her why she hates Bayley. Bianca replies and she says she doesn't hate her, she respects her, but Bayley made her life hell for months. Naomi sympathizes, but she tells Bianca that people can change, and if she was willing to stand side by side with Becky Lynch, why can't she do the same with Bayley? After all, they want the same thing, to finally get rid of Damage Control. She also tells Bianca that it sucks when the people you care about the most turn their backs on you. Asuka and Kairi continue their search for Alba and Isla and find a single note in the room that Bayley found them in. It's completely in Japanese, but Kairi and Asuka look really scared and concerned. Damage Control are on Raw and it's WrestleMania week. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance have beaten every single team on Raw, and they want a rematch against Asuka and Kairi. The lights go out and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn appear in the ring. Alba asks Kairi and Asuka if they liked the message. After all, everything they have will soon be gone. Before they can respond, Adam Pearce walks onto the stage, and he says that he's so tired of SmackDown stars always showing up on his show. He spoke to Ava and Nick Aldis, and they agreed that the Kabuki Warriors will face Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, and Metaphors, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson in a fatal 4-way match at WrestleMania. The SmackDown before Mania, and Bayley just needs to beat Asuka so that she can choose the stipulation for her WrestleMania match with Io. Damage Control are at ringside, and Io is determined to make sure that Asuka wins. But as they try to interfere more and more, Bayley is getting more frustrated. She's trying to fight them off, but it feels like too much. Just as Asuka is about to hit one final kick on Bayley, Naomi's music hits and she tries to help Bayley out. The distraction is long enough for Bayley to get the upper hand, but Io is back and hits Bayley right in front of the referee. She doesn't even care about the stipulation anymore. She just needs to take Bayley out. Damage Control and Naomi are also back and they're brawling, but the numbers game is still with Damage Control until Bianca Belair hits the ring. She helps Bayley and Naomi and they stand in the ring with Damage Control retreating and walking up the ramp. Bayley stops them and asks if they want to hear her stipulation. After all, Io kind of messed up by causing the disqualification. She announces that she wants a last man standing match with Io Sky, and Damage Control just laugh. That helps them because they can do anything they want to make sure Bayley can't stand up. Bianca grabs the mic and tells them that Bayley isn't alone anymore. She doesn't completely trust her, but she can't let Damage Control run SmackDown anymore. It's WrestleMania Night 1 and the show opens with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way. It's a really fun match with a ton of great spots. Jakara Jackson tags herself in while Lash Legend is also legal, and they think that they can steal the titles by having Lash pin Jakara. All the women break up the pin, and later in the match, Alba Fire and Jakara Jackson are legal and in the ring. Alba manages to pin Jakara, Kairi is up and on the apron just as the ref's hand goes down for 3. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And you can see Kairi mouth the words, Io is going to be so mad, to Asuka. Bayley vs. Io for the WWE Women's Championship is on WrestleMania Sunday. Io tells Damage Control to go to the back. They failed last night, and this needs to end with her taking out Bayley on her own. It's a brutal match. Io tries to find a ton of weapons to keep Bayley down, and Io even ties Bayley to a table and hits a moonsault, but Bayley gets up at 9. There's a really cool spot where Io uses the bin and dives off a platform in the crowd onto Bayley. She even manages to get the upper hand after Io tries another moonsault and misses after Bayley moves. Damage Control runs to the ring and immediately go after Bayley. Io looks upset that they're there, but lets them attack Bayley anyway. They're hitting Bayley with kendo sticks until Naomi and Bianca run to the ring and fight off Damage Control. Io is back up and she pulls Bayley back into the crowd. She wants one more moonsault, but Bayley is fighting her off and manages to hit the rose plant. Bayley climbs up onto the entrance in the crowd and hits a huge elbow drop on Io. She lets the ref count, and even though Io is stirring, she doesn't get up before the count of 10. And Bayley is your new WWE Women's Champion. The Intercontinental title is up next, and Sami Zayn vs. Gunther is great. But the story here is really about Chad Gable. After losing the gauntlet match to Sami, Gable is distraught and doesn't know how to get himself into the match. He has a meeting with Adam Pearce and keeps trying to convince him to make another match. Give him one more chance to prove himself. Sami Zayn interrupts and tells Gable, fine. If you want another chance, I'll give you a chance. Fight me tonight and prove yourself. Once again, Gable gives it his all, but he comes up short against Sami. Sami tries to hug him again, but Gable is completely deflated. The following week, Gunther tells Gable that he'll amuse him. He spoke to Adam Pearce and agreed to make Gable one more match. If Gable can defeat Ludwig Kaiser in a one-on-one match, he'll be added to the Intercontinental title match and make it a triple threat. But if he loses, he will never challenge Gunther again. Sami Zayn is furious. Yes, he's happy for Gable, but Gable's taking away his one shot at Gunther. He's taking away his fair chance at ending Gunther's streak. Not to mention, Gable has already lost to Gunther. Gunther says he wants a worthy competitor and tells Kaiser he needs to end Chad Gable. Sami sits at ringside to watch Gable versus Kaiser. Gable finally gets a win and defeats Ludwig Kaiser. The crowd erupts as Chad Gable celebrates and Sami gets into the ring to shake his hand. Gable is hesitant at first, but he shakes Sami's hand, and Sami seems happy for Gable, but he's visibly upset. WrestleMania is here, and Sami goes to Chad and wishes him good luck before their match. Gable wishes him luck too, because in this match, he's not holding back. During the match, Gunther is dominating both of them, and it forces them to work together, and eventually with a double drop kick, Gunther falls out of the ring. Now it's Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable, one-on-one, face-to-face. They have a short, fast-paced back and forth, but Gunther's back in the ring and he's not giving up his title that easily. In the closing sequence of the match, Gable manages to hit Chaos Theory on Gunther, but Sami breaks up the pin. He knocks Gunther out of the ring, and with Gable's help, they put Gunther through the announce desk. Once they're back in the ring, Sami tries to hit a haluva kick on Gable, but Gable catches his leg and turns it into an ankle lock. Sami tries to reverse it, but Gable reverses it back into the ankle lock in the middle of the ring. Gunther's back in the ring and he breaks up the submission. He hits a powerbomb on Sami and Sami rolls out of the ring. Gable hits Chaos Theory on Gunther and rolls it into a second Chaos Theory just for good measure. He finally pins Gunther 1, 2, 3, and Chad Gable is the new Intercontinental Champion. It's time for the WWE Tag Team Championships, and Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis have a huge announcement on Raw. The Judgment Day will be pulling double duty and defending the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships separately. Both matches are triple threat matches. The Judgment Day are furious at this decision, but they're still confident that they can walk away with both sets of titles. Qualifying matches take place on both Raw and SmackDown over the next few weeks. Awesome Truth and DIY qualify on Raw, and the Authors of Pain and New Catch Republic qualify on SmackDown. The Judgment Day defend their Raw Tag Team titles on Night 1 of WrestleMania. It's revealed right before the match that they will be defending the World Tag Team titles, and new belts are on a pedestal next to commentary. Judgment Day use their numbers advantage, and JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio run down the ramp as soon as Judgment Day look like they're in trouble. Awesome Truth and DIY managed to work together to overcome the numbers, and they managed to take out Dom, but DIY have run up the ramp to chase after JD. The two legal men in the ring are R-Truth and Damian Priest. R-Truth spends a lot of time trying to convince Priest to let him back into the Judgment Day, until Miz gets back into the ring and reminds Truth that he doesn't want to be in that group anymore. Truth tries to lift Priest up and manages to hit the attitude adjustment for a near fall that Finn Balor breaks up. Miz hits a skull-crushing finale on Finn, and this time Dominic Mysterio breaks up the pin. Damian hits Miz with a South of Heaven onto R-Truth and tags in Balor, who also hits a coup de grace onto Miz, who's still lying on Truth. He shoves Miz out of the way and pins Truth for the 3 count, just as DIY are running back to the ring. The Judgment Day retain, and they are now the World Tag Team Champions. At the top of Night 2, Triple H reveals the new WWE Tag Team titles, and Judgment Day are looking for back-to-back victories. Before the match, the Authors of Pain are backstage, and they've taken out Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. During the match, AOP dominates until Akam comes face-to-face with Damian Priest. Damian attempts South of Heaven after a bit of back and forth, but Razor hits Priest from behind before he can. Finn Balor and Tyler Bate brawl on the outside, and Pete Dunne is on his own against AOP. Dunne tries to hold them off but struggles against the stronger team. Tyler Bate is back in the ring, and the big strong boy earns his mantra by picking up Razor and spinning him around before hitting a huge Tyler Driver 97. Finn Balor and Damian Priest break up the pin, and a huge melee breaks out. The melee spills to the outside, and AOP put Judgment Day through the announce desk. New Catch Republic and AOP meet in the middle of the ring. New Catch Republic managed to get the upper hand with a flurry of attacks, and Tyler Bate hits one more Tyler Driver 97 on Razor, while Pete Dunne hits Akam with the bitter end. And with simultaneous pins, the New Catch Republic win the WWE Tag Team Championships. Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, and Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. Okay, hold on for a second. Now you guys know that if I was booking this from scratch, I would not have booked any of this. But I promised myself that I would book this mess of a feud using WWE's current booking as much as possible. And I'll try to book it better than them. So here we go. It's official, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes will take on Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania on Night 1. On SmackDown, The Rock declares that this is the final chance for Seth Rollins to main event WrestleMania, and he better enjoy the rub that The Rock has given him, because he will never have another main event, and he wouldn't have this main event without it. He then brings up Cody Rhodes, and he says that this is the final time Cody will ever challenge for the WWE Championship. He reminds Cody and Seth of the stipulations for Night 1, but with a little bit more context. If the Bloodline wins, it's Bloodline rules on Night 2 for Cody and Seth's championship matches. If Cody and Seth win, they will both have fair fights for their respective matches. Then he discusses Monday Night Raw and his attack on Cody. The Rock says that he's a man that keeps his promises. He pulls out the white belt he made and says this is proof that he kept this promise. This is for Cody and his family at WrestleMania. The story will finish, but not the way Cody wants it to end. After WrestleMania, Cody will never challenge for the WWE Championship ever again. On Raw, Seth and Cody are in the ring and they discuss their matches. Seth is angry. He said that he's done everything a superstar can do in this company. Two-time Grand Slam champion, Mr. Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble winner. But when he won the Royal Rumble, he didn't receive the WrestleMania main event he deserved. So this main event isn't because of The Rock, it's about Seth finally receiving something that he has earned. Drew McIntyre interrupts them and he agrees. Seth has earned a main event match at WrestleMania, but not against The Rock and Roman Reigns. His main event match should be with him, with Drew McIntyre. Seth didn't earn his match against The Rock and Roman Reigns. He was in the right place at the right time and weaseled his way into this match by butting into the Bloodline's affairs. Seth replies and he says that nothing he has ever done has been about luck or being in the right place at the right time. It's always been about working hard and earning everything. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, has not worked for anything. After Seth broke up the Shield, his older brother was immediately named the Chosen One. Roman got all the main events and almost got booed out of the building after some of them. Seth carries on and he says, just look at Roman's current title reign. He stole that title from Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, and ever since then, he's been using his family to keep that title. He wants to carry on, but Drew once again interrupts him and tells Seth to stop being obsessed with Roman Reigns. This should be about all of Seth's hard work, all of Drew's hard work. They should be the main event, not a co-main event. Cody is still there and he says that everyone has needed to sacrifice something at the hands of Roman Reigns. Main events, title matches, titles, and the fans have not had a champion for the last 3 years, thanks to Roman Reigns. This year is the last shot for everyone to get back what they have sacrificed. Cody himself sacrificed his literal blood, sweat, and tears when he was attacked by The Rock. But this needs to end at WrestleMania. Of course, Cody wants revenge for that attack. The Rock made him bleed on live television in front of the entire world, and Cody has that opportunity on night 1. But on night 2, this isn't just about them, or about fulfilling his destiny or finishing the story. This is about reclaiming a title that Roman has held hostage for years. And by handing this title to his mother, he also gets to give the title back to the fans. Just like that, the Bloodline are here. Jimmy and Solo storm to the ring, but Jey Uso is there just as quickly. And once again, the Bloodline find themselves face to face with Cody, Seth, and Jey, while Drew McIntyre walks away. On SmackDown, the final boss and the tribal chief are making plans. The Rock wants to prove that he is the final boss and goes to Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Later in the night, Nick and Adam are both on the phone and they're clearly upset, arguing with people on the line. Adam drops the phone and holds the bridge of his nose. Nick Aldis ends his call and just sighs. Adam says, "So no luck then?" Nick replies and says no. The higher-ups said where The Rock is concerned, we need to comply. On Raw, The Rock marches in and storms into Adam's office. He wants to see if this little team of Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes can work well together. Adam sighs and tries to explain that the show is already set. The Rock doesn't care and tells Adam to make the match. Adam is getting frustrated, but sets up the match against Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. The Rock looks satisfied and as he walks away says, "Tell Rhea Ripley, the wise man and I would like to speak to her." Drew McIntyre is in the ring and he's absolutely furious. Once again, the Bloodline are messing with his plans. It's one thing for Seth to have a match the night before his championship match, but now he's got a tag team match tonight on Raw, just a few days before WrestleMania. The Bloodline are constantly involving themselves in everyone else's story, and now The Rock is in the mix, so they're taking over everything. Drew is certain that he can beat Seth Rollins, and he doesn't need the Bloodline's help to do it. Music hits, but it's not Seth or Cody. Instead, it's Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy tells Drew that he's being ungrateful. Just take the help, man. We're making your life so much easier. Jimmy reminds Drew that he has a pretty important match at WrestleMania too. He vows to finally break his younger brother and bring him back to the family. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes come to the ring for their match against the Bloodline. Drew McIntyre says he's staying right here and he will be on commentary for the match to make sure Seth doesn't do anything stupid to jeopardize their match at Mania. The match is underway, and even though Seth and Cody are working well together, the Bloodline have the upper hand. Commentary push the fact that Seth and Cody have very little tag team experience. They know each other far better as adversaries than as partners. But the Bloodline are family. Solo and Jimmy are brothers. Roman and The Rock are cousins. They have instant tag team chemistry because they're family. And at this point, Drew McIntyre is dying to get into the ring and stop this match. He repeatedly said on commentary that he's just here to make sure Seth is as close to 100% as possible for their match at WrestleMania. The match carries on and Solo and Jimmy just can't put Seth and Cody down. There's a flurry from Seth and Cody even hits a crossroads on Solo. Jimmy is now frustrated. Cody wants to let Seth finish off Solo with a stomp and goes for the tag, but Jimmy rushes into the ring and hits Cody with a steel chair, causing a disqualification. Drew McIntyre tries to preserve his WrestleMania match, and before Solo can attack Seth, he gives Solo a claymore. Jey Uso runs to the ring and the Bloodline retreats. On SmackDown, Seth and Cody are there and they want Roman Reigns and The Rock one last time. One more face-to-face encounter. Lightning bolts flash throughout the arena on SmackDown and The Rock walks to the ring. Roman Reigns makes his entrance with Paul Heyman, but while he does, the Bloodline walk through the crowd and surround the ring. Jey Uso runs to the ring and immediately is attacked by Jimmy Uso, and they brawl to the back. The numbers game is still with the Bloodline, and this starts a merciless attack on Seth and Cody. Seth and Roman are on the outside, and Solo helps Roman give Seth a shield bomb through the announce desk. In the ring, The Rock pulls out his custom-made belt for Cody and his mom, reminding Cody what's at stake. Cody looks at that belt with rage in his eyes and manages to get The Rock in position for Crossroads, but is hit with a Samoan spike, reminiscent of WrestleMania 39. Solo pulls Seth into the ring and Roman gives a spear to both Seth and Cody. The closing shot of SmackDown is the Tribal Chief and the final boss, standing over our fallen heroes. WrestleMania Night 1 feels grim. In a backstage interview, Drew McIntyre looks directly into the camera, but he speaks to Seth Rollins and tells him that it's not too late to back out. Just don't walk to the ring. What happened on SmackDown will happen again tonight, and the Bloodline will take over. The Rock will take away the title we've worked so hard to build before I even get the chance to win it from you. Please, please just save yourself for the real main event tomorrow night. But Seth does go down to the ring for the main event of Night 1 and stands by Cody's side. He takes off a ridiculously large jacket and has tape running up and down his back. Roman Reigns just laughs and points at Seth, asking Cody if this really is his shield. Seth and Roman start the match and it's very clear that Seth is not at 100%. He's moving a little slower and his transitions aren't as smooth, and through it all, Roman and The Rock are talking smack and laughing at the baby faces. Roman targets his back and keeps asking his little brother if he still thinks he's better than him. Roman tags in The Rock and he beats down Seth, constantly telling him that he can snap his fingers and it'll be like the World Heavyweight Championship never existed. Rock, Roman, and Paul Heyman distract the referee and Solo Sikoa attacks Cody Rhodes on the apron. Seth tries to find a gap, but when he makes it to the corner, Cody is lying on the apron. The Rock pulls Seth back and drags him all the way back to their corner before tagging Roman in. Seth manages to get some space and finally hits a super kick on Roman and lands a blow on The Rock. He finally tags in Cody Rhodes. Cody runs in and immediately starts hitting Roman. He manages to hit Roman with a Cody cutter and goes for the pin, but Paul Heyman once again distracts the referee. The ref sends Paul Heyman to the back and things are starting to look up for Cody and Seth. Cody focuses back on Roman Reigns and takes him down to lock in a figure 4. The Rock breaks up the submission and Seth immediately goes for The Rock. All four men are brawling in the ring, and through the shuffle, the ref gets hit by an elbow from The Rock. The ref is out and falls out of the ring, and Bloodline Rules comes early, as Solo and Jimmy make their way to the ring. Solo hands The Rock the white weight belt that he has used on Cody before, and The Rock just starts to pummel Cody once again. Seth and Roman are on the outside, and Solo and Jimmy go to Roman to help him. Solo, Jimmy, and Roman give Seth another shield bomb. Jimmy goes to the ref and tries to get him back up, but the ref isn't waking up. Roman is back in the ring and The Rock picks up Cody. Roman hits him with a massive spear. Another ref runs down to the ring and The Rock tries for the pin, but Cody Rhodes kicks out. He tries for a disaster kick, but Roman catches him and hits a powerbomb. The Rock picks up Cody and hits rock bottom. The final boss and the tribal chief have won the match. Night 2 is here and Seth Rollins vs. Drew McIntyre is on first. Drew beats Seth down and targets his back. He tells Seth over and over again that he was so stupid for competing last night. Seth manages to briefly get the upper hand until The Rock's music plays. Drew is in the corner and he just rolls his eyes. He looks at Seth and says, "I told you this would happen." The Rock speaks to the ref quietly and the ref steps out of the ring. Seth starts preparing himself for anything, and The Rock hits Seth with a huge rock bottom. He walks away and lets the ref back into the ring, but he says this isn't the end. Drew McIntyre is stunned and he doesn't go for the pin straight away. Instead, Seth gets back up. He goes for a super kick but misses and Drew hits him with a headbutt. Drew goes for a claymore but misses, and Seth hits the super kick this time. He picks up Drew and hits him with a huge pedigree and a stomp. Seth Rollins has retained the World Heavyweight Championship. Solo Sikoa storms to the ring and hits Seth with a Samoan spike. Damian Priest's music plays and he runs down the ramp. This may not be the heist of the century, but it's a calculated cash-in that the architect should be proud of. Priest hits a razor's edge and the ref counts, but Seth weakly kicks out at 2. Priest picks him up and slams him down to the mat with a South of Heaven chokeslam, and Damian Priest is the new World Heavyweight Champion. The final main event of WrestleMania is here, and Cody Rhodes waits patiently in the ring for Roman Reigns. But The Rock and the Bloodline come out first. Roman Reigns is making his entrance and Cody Rhodes is staring back at the entire Bloodline. The match begins and Solo and Jimmy pace around the ring. Cody tries to keep his focus on Roman Reigns. Roman is smirking the entire time and hasn't even tried to make a move. He circles the ring and finally locks up with Cody. Roman tries to knock down Cody, but Cody gives him a right hand. The match goes on, and every time Cody picks up some speed, Roman knocks him down and slows the pace back down. Roman nods at The Rock, and once again, The Rock whispers to the ref, and the ref steps out of the ring. Solo and Jimmy throw some chairs into the ring, and The Rock reveals the weight belt once again. Roman hits Cody with a chair, and The Rock waits and bides his time. Cody's family is in the front row, and The Rock looks in their direction. Jey Uso runs to the ring, but Solo and Jimmy immediately take out Jey, and they brawl through the crowd. The Rock starts to hit Cody with the belt, and every strike makes the crowd gasp and grimace. Cody is in an extremely tough spot, but he's still defiant. He tries to get back up, and The Rock knocks him down again. Rock shouts at Cody and tells him that this is what happens when you mess with the only royal family in wrestling. Cody manages to get back up and this time slaps The Rock right in the face. Roman takes over and tries to hit Cody with a chair again, but Cody catches the chair and grabs it from Roman. He swings at The Rock and is finally getting some payback. He throws the weight belt out of the ring after hitting The Rock with it, and now he can finally focus on Roman Reigns. The ref is back in the ring, and Cody hits Cody Cutter on Roman for the 2 count. Roman hits a spear, and despite a faster count, Cody manages to kick out. Roman puts him into the guillotine, and just as Cody is about to fade, he manages to break free from the hold. The Rock is back in the ring with a steel chair in hand. Roman is up, and they walk up to Cody. The Rock is just a small step behind Roman. Roman smirks, and The Rock starts to swing the chair. But Rock hits Roman in the back and rolls out of the ring. As he walks up the ramp, Cody is shocked and he doesn't know what to say or do. Roman is lying on the mat and starts to stir and get back up. He charges at Cody and Cody grabs him, ready to deliver crossroads. Roman manages to counter and hits Cody with a spear. Roman pins Cody and Cody kicks out at 2.9. Both men are up and Cody hits Roman with lefts and rights before delivering the bionic elbow. Cody manages to hit not one, but 2 crossroads. He finally goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes has finished the story. Cody Rhodes is the new WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. So that is how I would book WrestleMania 40. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Please do all of that good YouTube stuff. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and as always, be mindful and be kind.